Seeing none, is there anyone wishing to speak against this ordinance? Recognize Mr. Randy Thurston. Randy will be sworn in by the clerk.
You'll give before the Pueblo City Council is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you.
Welcome, Randy.
Members of City Council, President of City Council, I appreciate this opportunity. My statements are going to be geared towards the use of the tear down of the building for the hotel site. One of the things I think is important, this is an emergency situation. I was able to watch on Channel 5 the other night with Dennis Flores making statements about moving forward with the professional ball field. And with Councilman Atencio, we had met with people on the Riverwalk. And one of the assurances that no money would be spent until all the facts were done. So I'm looking at this right now as expenditures being made to accommodate having a hotel site. I also was very curious with Councilman Flores with the 4 and 5, with them also having a hotel site. So again, what my whole focus is the need for some very powerful questions that need to be asked before any expenditures are geared towards moving forward on this project. You know, I think it's diligent. I think the citizens of Pueblo are asking a lot of questions. They're really wanting to know, has this been vetted through? Is this real what it's really supposed to be? Or is it just kind of a hope and a prayer that everything's going to work out and we'll deal with the problems as they come? So I have a couple of prepared notes that I'd like to share. Again, I do view this hotel site as a part of a larger package with the baseball stadium and 3 hotels proposed by the same developer. The concerned citizens on the Riverwalk met with Councilman Atencio, and it was clear that there was a lot of unanswered questions. And it was very clear that no expenditures or agreements would be made until these questions are answered. Again, it was quite a surprise when I saw the appearance that this was a done deal, and hearing Councilman Flores and Commissioners Pace and Hart, where they're welcoming this developer to the community. It didn't follow protocol of being in the beginning stages of asking questions here. I'm personally not for or against the proposed stadium. Again, there's so many facts and numbers that are unclear, that are not available. Nobody should be able to be for or against this until that information is complete. So I'm going to start with just some basic questions. One is, why was that site chosen that we all know is going to have a high degree of environmental issues with the holding pond with the Black Hill site? Obviously there's railroad tracks, there's a lot of environmental issues where there's other areas out by the dog track that won't be an issue. I mean, how many times have we, again, the county commissioners for sure can attest to this, where they had a project and then when they dealt with the environmental issues, the cost went $5 to $10 million higher. The what revenue streams are proposed? Best case, I think that's what everybody's looking at with those numbers. Or is it based off of the Utah current numbers that the ball players are generating there in that area?
So Randy, I'm going to interrupt because the hearing that we're having pertains to the issue of the tear down of the former police annex building.
Correct.
But I mean, the discussion of the ballpark and all that is outside of the scope of this particular item. So I don't disagree with what you're saying, and I think you're raising some very important questions, but it's just not...
I would entertain that this council would allow 6 more questions to be asked, because this is pertinent to the tear down of the police annex building. Because again, if I'm not mistaken, the rush of this is to have it ready to go for the proposed hotel site. So again, it's a short... I think it's pertinent for the questions to be asked.
I guess I have a question of council. Why is this an emergency ordinance tonight? What makes this an emergency? Sorry to put you on the spot there, but I was wondering that myself.
I guess what makes it an emergency is because we have also out to bid right now is the EDA portion of the RTA project, and it's the Gateway Plaza area, and it's the area between the convention center and the Riverwalk, and it also goes into the backside of this building, which has improvements for federal funds to be spent up to back of this building. And so we've got to get this building out of the way, or we're going to have to build a $50,000-$60,000 kind of retaining wall in order to hold back that earth edge as we build the rest of the Gateway Plaza. So that's why it's emergency orders. We need to get it approved. We got to set the funds up and have the site ready for the EDA project.
Okay. And one other thing I need to add is that the demolition of this building has been always part of the RTA project from many years ago. And the fact that, you know, county commissioners have drawn this location as a future hotel, that doesn't mean that's necessarily going to happen. We're just obligated to go ahead and demolish it and have the site for whatever purpose is going to happen in the future.
Okay, I'm going to take one comment from Councilman Flores because he's part of Urban Renewal. So
yeah, I wanted to say, Mr. Thurston, that this site has been earmarked for demolition for a long time before we ever heard of this project. It's been on the drawing board probably since the last time I was appointed to the City Council back in 2014. This has always been something that we had on the drawing board to remove, both through the city and through the Urban Renewal Authority. That was always designated as a future site of a hotel. We didn't do this because of this baseball owner coming into Pueblo. It has always been designated as a hotel site. The other thing, we have an EDA grant that's in jeopardy if we don't tear this building down. That's why it's under an emergency ordinance.
You know, Councilman, I do not take away any of what you're sharing. I'm just saying that I'm here. There's some simple basic questions. I can connect the dots with this being part of the project, and there's reasons to say it's not part of the project. It's your call, but it would take another less than 3 minutes to complete the questions that I know a lot of the taxpayers and the citizens of Pueblo have, and this really is an opportunity because things seem to be moving a lot faster than I thought they would after seeing the presentation on the Channel 5 News, with it seeming like it was a done deal.
Mr. Thurston, I'm going to allow your comments. Just try to stay and show the connection. If you
I will, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Ray had a comment. Just
Okay, Ray.
Randy, we had zero input. We never got any information. They would come to us and we would look stupid because we had absolutely no information at all. None. Zero.
okay. Let's.
Okay, Councilman Aguilar, just in response to that, I can appreciate that, and I think this will be helpful because the citizens are wanting these questions answered.
We never got information.
So,
let's-
I understand.
let's proceed then.
So one of the questions is, what is the risk to the citizens and the taxpayers pertaining to this if it's not successful? Again, we're looking at expenditures tonight and in the future in agreements. We all hear that this is not going to be the city's responsibility, but nobody's really asked what if it doesn't work? Is it going to fall back on the taxpayers of the citizens of Pueblo here? We also have, again, with the Promise, the stadium, and the 3 hotels, the TIF would be based off the stadium and the 3 hotels only. And again, back in Salt Lake City, those numbers didn't add up based off of the attendance back then. That city council said, no, the numbers don't make sense. Best of luck, good luck in Pueblo. I think those numbers need to be answered before expenditures are met. Who's responsible for the ongoing maintenance? And the developer said he would pay any amount that would not be covered by the TIF. Can he afford it? Is he qualified? Does he have personal skin in the game? These are questions, again, that the citizens are really counting that the council would step up to the plate because they're not getting the response from the county commissioners other than just let's get this thing done and see what happens. And again, bottom line is all of us are citizens of Pueblo that are involved with this, but we're also taxpayers with tax dollars to the county. So everybody that's represented by you is also at risk of the money being spent, and we're really depending on the leadership of City Council, the strength of this organization, to really make sure that the questions are asked and answered that would be sufficient to protect the interest of this community. So having said that, I appreciate the time. Best of luck with everything, and we'll continue further on. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. This is the hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak against this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, the hearing is closed. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded.